Okay, I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to use Google Calendars and how to get to them even. To get to Google Calendars, you're going to have to go down here to your dock. This is Google Chrome. When using Google, it's always nice to use Google Chrome. It plays well with other browsers too, but always the best to use Google Chrome. So we're going to do that. By the way, on the dock, this bar right here, if you ever have a little dot underneath a program that's on your dock, that means that that program is running, and you can always click and hold on a application or a program, and then you can, when you click and hold, you get this bar that comes up, and you could actually quit it if you wanted to. You get all kinds of other options. Enough with that. Let's click on Google Chrome because I want to launch my browser. My browser launches, and I believe for me, it automatically signs me in. It may not do that for you. So let's pretend that I'm not signed in. And I'm going to make sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the Los Ranchos website because that's a common place that we all know and we all understand. So here's the Los Ranchos website. One cool thing about the calendar is that right here, it sits on our website. One way to access the Google Calendar is you could click on Add to Google Calendar, or you could just double click on this calendar, launch it, and it will come up. And if you are logged in, maybe you'll get to see that right away. But I'm going to give you an even easier way to get to it. We're going to go to Staff, for Staff. This should be a common location for you to go. Many of us go right here. This is the number one place where I go from here is I get into my webmail when I need to do that. But at the very bottom of the page is called, it says Drive. And it says log in with your e-credentials to access shared info for Los Ranchos. I come here. It shows which account I want to log into. I've got my personal account. I could add another account, but I'm going to log in with this one. If this does not even come up at all, you're going to have to log in with your e-credentials or your APS email address. Either one will work. It's going to be your common login password. If it's and your user, your staff ID number, or if you have to do your email address, either one, the password that you're going to use to get into Google will be the one that you use for logging into email. So I'm going to click on this. That launches me in, and I need to type my password. And now I'm in. And it takes me to Drive. Shows my picture. Sometimes it's just a letter for you if and change that. And I'm going to zoom into here, and I'm going to circle this area right here. This is Google Apps, and we are called this the waffle. And when you click on the waffle, you get all these different programs that you can use because you're an APS member. And I'm going to click on Calendar. So that launches me straight to my calendar. And it shows me all the different calendars that I have. There's a little arrow by my calendars. If your calendar, if it's like this, you might want to see what other calendars you have. You can add in and take away. Right now on my screen, I am just showing the Los Ranchos Elementary Public's calendar, and I could even hide that by clicking on that dot right there. And now everything is blanked out. None of the calendars are showing, and I've just got a blank screen. And I can click through months and see what's going on right here. And the other thing is we can always change from up here on this part of the screen. Okay. Sometimes you want to just see a day, week, month, 4 days, or the agenda. There's other options right here, like printing your calendars, which I've found to be very useful. And then there's settings. Okay, and you can play around with all of these. Let's go take a look at just the public calendar. So I'm going to click on that. And now we're in agenda mode, but I want to switch it into week mode because that's the mode I'm most comfortable seeing. And here's the calendar for today or this week. And I can see all the things going on here. I can add in my different calendars right here and other calendars right here. If you have a coworker who has a calendar and you want to connect to them, you could actually ask for their other calendars. And here it says add a friend's calendar. Browse interesting calendars, so you could add other calendars. You can import a calendar, so if you have a calendar that is in Microsoft Outlook and you wanted to import that calendar into Google Calendars and stop using Microsoft Outlook, you could do that by importing an ICS file. That's a whole separate deal. If you need to know more how to do that, you might look up how to do that on a YouTube video. That's kind of it for calendars. And so let's summarize what I've talked about today. And so let's talk about any of the calendars that I want to see. I can see my personal calendar. There we go. I can see birthdays. I can see SatShare. They've got stuff going on, reminders. When we click on this one, I've got a whole bunch more stuff that I've added in. That's the one I really use for myself. Staff calendar, we can add that in, and to professional development. Okay. And this one links to the actual classroom that I have. Those are kind of the calendars. Talked about this area. We talked, and probably the most important thing, the waffle right here that gets to all your applications in Google. I hope this has been quick and informative for you. If you have any questions, type them in the comments, and I will get back to you on how to use this more effectively. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.